Hello, hello,
All right.
welcome. We are David and Stacy Whited.
Hey, good evening. Welcome to meeton.com, Market America's platform for interactive media and and a number of things. And tonight it is Market America's platform for us to be able to share with you a little something we like to call the daily method of operation that creates a very predictable outcome in your UnFranchise.
So we are excited to be here with you guys tonight. David and I started our business. It's been 20 years ago, and we were 23 at the time in the midst of some really difficult times. I'd been pregnant and sick for months, and David was working 100 hours a week, clocked in at 4 jobs, and we were looking for a way of creating income outside of our time.
And really the only source that we had, and maybe you can relate with this, the only way that we really had of increasing our income was by increasing our time, the amount of time. And I think that applies to people. If you were like I worked in a call center for MCI at that time, but it kind of applies if you're, a medical doctor. The amount of hours that you can put in are the direct correlation to how much money that you're going to make. Except for we splatted right into a brick wall financially when Stacy got really sick with our daughter with a pregnancy with her that led to that, and was allergic to the hormone the baby released, and so we lost her income as a cosmetologist. And as soon as she had to stop cutting hair, the income stopped. And so not only did I have kind of the challenge of taking care of her, she was on home health care and in the hospital for months and couldn't eat through her mouth. It was really, really sick. But I had to take on extra jobs. And so I realized then at a young age, I never wanted to be in a situation where my family was impacted so dramatically by our ability to perform a task, by our ability to log time in a job. Now, I didn't have any idea of the UnFranchise and what that was all about, but my mind was wide open looking for an opportunity. But my receptors are always kind of process things through an idea of how many hours you can work and how time was related to money.
Exactly. And so at 23, we really started looking for ways to increase that time. And that's when we were introduced to the unfranchised system by David's brother, Kelly Whited. And in that process, we were looking for a way of creating that income, but also how do you do that on a daily basis? They kept talking about, 10 to 15 hours a week.
Just do the system.
Exactly.
Follow the system. Do the system.
Exactly. So what do you do in those 10 to 15 hours a week? And something that we realized at a young age is that you needed, in order to develop success, you needed a simple task that could be duplicated by a large group of people. That's where long-term success comes in.
And so if you're on this and you're asking yourself like, okay, here's the big question that we used to get a lot is, okay, what do I really got to do? Some version of that. We would present the business. Somebody would kind of be excited by the potential of it. But the real question, maybe kind of underlying was, what do I really have to do inside those 10 hours a week in order to be effective? And can I do them?
Mm-hmm.
Are these tasks that I have the skill set to accomplish? What are they, and can I do them? And I'm just here to tell you that your long-term success in an unfranchise is going to be dependent upon your ability to implement simple tasks that can be duplicated by a large group of people. Simple tasks that can be duplicated by a large group of people. Write that down.
Versus what most people try to do. It's just human nature. I don't know what it is about us as humans.
Like a moth to a light.
It's human nature. We try to create difficult tasks that can only be duplicated by a small group of people.
Complicated tasks, challenging tasks, tasks that look good on a business card, tasks that might impress your brother-in-law, all kinds of different things. But it's the simple tasks that are easily duplicated by a large group of people that are going to create large passive incomes. And sometimes it's hard for our brain to make that connection because you may have had 4, 5, 6 years of continuing education and college and advanced education beyond that to earn what you're currently earning. And it may have taken you years and years and years of climbing the ladder and finding the right position to get where you are financially right now. And so it's hard to really wrap your mind around how could these simple tasks that anybody could do ever get me further than the complicated things I do in my job have already got me, thus far. And I'm just telling you, that's what makes them powerful is they're simple and they can be duplicated by a large group of people. So we're going to go through just kind of a what I consider like a raw essential checklist tonight, and ask yourself with each step of the way, is this something that I could do? You might even ask yourself, is this something like a 10-year-old could do? Because that's really the test right there. Is this something that you could easily teach, and things you can remember off the top of your head?
So we just came out of a major event, World Conference, where we had fireworks and unbelievable demonstrations, and we had all kinds of great teaching and
laser lights and
unbelievable.
Celebrities, 26,000 people in the American Airline Arena where the Miami Heat play. It was just this amazing event. All the heads of departments, everybody from the company trained at different phases throughout the event.
Unbelievable testimonies. And how did we end the whole weekend? Of course, with J.R. Ridinger's speech. And what did he talk about? He broke everything down and talked about simple tasks that could be repeated by a large group of people. He talked about our daily method of operation. What do you do daily, weekly, monthly, in order to create that annual income that we're all looking for, which is six figures, multiple six figures, millions of dollars.
Some version of sitting on a beach drinking out of a coconut and still making money. Our life, really our goal was, we just spent years living in a children's home in Mexico, earning income passively from our UnFranchise while we were there. So whatever version of life that you have, it's like your version of when you reach the top, or when you arrive, or when you get there, you want that income coming in, every week thereafter. And so here's the illusion, though, that a lot of people fall prey to. When you see this picture, JR, broke down there at the bottom, your daily tasks and weekly tasks, monthly tasks. And he made this big staircase, and you see the top of that, you see like an Elizabeth Weber, and you see an Amber Yang, or a Stacy Tung, or a Frank Kiefer, and Pam and Tony Bowling, and Andy Webb. You see these kind of amazing people that have reached these great pinnacles of success in this business. And we just naturally, as humans, we want to give them some sort of superhuman ability that maybe we don't possess. They did something that maybe we don't know how to do. And there's this gap between where you are and where you see them. And you associate like some kind of X-Men superpower to their ability. And we're just here to totally smash that myth. JR spent the whole end of his presentation, again, at the end of 3 days. And keep in mind, he makes money by us doing well. The more people that rise to a six-figure income, the better he does. And so keep that in mind. And what he drove home is the importance of the daily tasks. It's not one big jump from the ground to the top. It's lots of little steps that any one would be insignificant by itself, but stringing them together is something remarkable, something powerful, something that truly just it's like the Grand Canyon was made by water, just consistently chiseling its way through there, and it's a little bit over a long period of time that's gonna make it happen in your business as well.
And if you haven't seen the presentation, I highly encourage you going to YouTube. You can find it on YouTube. And they've actually taken that whole presentation. They made it 15 minutes. So very much
amazing.
Worth your time.
Acrobats, the guy behind JR there, some Circus Olay, those two good looking guys behind him. That's me and my buddy Ryan Stack. I think JR brought us up there to kind of be eye candy for the presentation and to keep everybody's attention. He kind of risked, people not hearing what he was saying with Ryan and I being there, but I think it was a risk that JR was willing to take.
I think so. So here is the daily mode of operation.
Get your
if you
pen
have
ready.
A piece of paper, you're going to need a pen. Write this down. Here's the first thing that you're going to be doing daily in order to be successful in running your own franchise, and that is to listen to one audio per day. So one audio a day. And how do you do that? Market America's come out with the UnFranchise Media app that you are able to listen to all these different audios, get all of this information. My favorite one on here is definitely JR's Basic 5, 1 and 2. That has been around since the beginning
Best
of
audio
this company.
ever made.
Unbelievable. Just listening to JR makes you want to run through a wall. It's so exciting.
And I encourage you to plug into this app. Also, you can download them to your phone and own them in different formats. You can burn them to CDs in the back office of your UnFranchise. You have access to audios as well. We used to have to pay $5 per audio cassette when Stacy and I first got started. And if I were to lend you, like if I said there's like maybe, I don't think there's really a secret, to our success. We've been able to earn millions of dollars with a company. But if I was going to say if there was a secret, it was that at the end of the first year, when we did our taxes, we had spent more on audio cassettes than we had BV, than we did gas, than we did travel, than we did any other line item expense for our business. We spent more on those $5 audio cassettes because they were like little soldiers that we were out. I didn't answer a lot of questions for people. I'd say, that's a great question. Listen to this. And I have wanted everybody listening to an audio a day. So we talk about those 10 hours a week at the very beginning. Be thinking in terms. I used to think I had to work more hours to make more money. And I still thought that as I built my own franchise, but I began to embrace this idea of, if I have one person on my left and one on my right, they're both putting in 10 hours a week, I'm now accomplishing 30 hours a week. They get to, I'm now accomplishing, 70 hours a week, and 80, and 100. And eventually, I was accomplishing more hours of production in my organization than I was on my 4 jobs. And so kind of got rid of one job at a time. But you got to know what's happening inside those 10 hours a week. And it becomes very predictable when people buy into a daily method of operation of personal development, and the audios help make that happen.
And you come into this business as an unfranchised owner, never have owned an unfranchised before in the past. And so you come in, it's like, what do I need to do in order to be successful? Well, if you want to earn a professional income, you have to become a professional along the way. And you do that through getting the information that you need along the way. So there's audios that you're listening to. You're going to go to training, all of these different things, but that all goes into the attitude and knowledge that you need in order to run an unfranchised.
You cannot control the skill level of an organization. And let's say you're listening to this today, and tomorrow morning you wake up and you inherited. Let's just say, J.R. Reitinger gave you an organization of 1,000 people, and you just inherited it. Now, you have no control over what those people know or what they don't know, what their past background is, or any of these things. But you can level the playing field by having a daily method of operation of personal development. And if each person in there is listening to an audio a day, very quickly they're going to become self-sustaining, self-sufficient. They call you with a different tone in their voice. They now got a couple of solutions in mind, and not just calling to whine and nag and cry on your shoulder. I don't know if I can do this. You're like, suck it up. Be a man. Get out there, listen to an audio.
Exactly.
Put JR's Basic 5, 1, and 2 in there, and act like you got a spine. It's like you start taking on his passion.
They're being mentored by the best of the best. They're being mentored by the professionals and learning the things that they need to know. And we're doing it every day. We're being mentored by the best.
We still did our first week in the business. We do it today. We'll be listening to JR in the morning. We're getting ready, and we'll pause it. We get a phone call or something. We're like, hey, JR, just hang on just a minute. Just hold it right there. We'll be back. You just sit there and don't get in any trouble, and we'll be back in a second. We used to make JR wait in the car when I went into the grocery store. We used to make JR wait in the car when we went into church. And so truly it's like being mentored, by the best in the history of this industry, and he's at your beck and call. So use it.
Absolutely. The next thing is read 20 to 30 minutes per day. So again, becoming a professional, learning the things that you need to learn in order to be successful. There's all kinds of books that you can read for sure. Some of our favorites are right here. How to Win Friends and Influence People. That book was actually given to me by David, my husband, before we were married at the age of 18, and it completely changed my life.
Very romantic. If you're single guys out there, buy your girlfriend a book like that. It drives them crazy. Chicks dig it.
I tell you what, though, I have never forgotten the principles I've learned, and I've gone back and read it several times. It is such an amazing book.
It changed my life. I started reading that early, and I'm like, why didn't they cover this in school? This is amazing stuff. It's just an incredible book. Most of those books you see there, those are on a shelf of a young man that came in our business. He's friends with our son, and long before he heard of Market America, he was always coming up to me. He's like, hey, what books are you reading? And how can I get ahead in life? And I'm like, have you read this book? He's like, no, I've never heard of it. And then the next time I talked to him, he'd bought the book and he was reading it. And so these are some of his collections. His name's Dakota James. He's killing this thing. He lives in San Diego. But that's his book collection. So he sent us that picture, and I could not be more proud of him, because he's beginning the process of transforming his world by transforming his mind. And he's creating a process that's predictable, because it begins on the inside, which he can control, and leads towards the outside, which he can't necessarily control. But if you become right in your mind, you begin to handle problems different, and you look at situations different, and you are truly transformed onto another level as far as your ability to solve problems and make money. And so he's putting those all in. Most of those books have the word think in there somewhere. Think and Grow Rich, The Magic of Thinking Big,
As a Man Thinketh.
As a Man Thinketh. So I would encourage you, man, just to go to Barnes & Noble, go on your portal, and just, buy every book that's got the word think, in the
Exactly.
title. But this is a good list to start with right here.
If you become a six-figure earner in your mind, or multiple six-figure earner, or $1 million a year earner in your mind, you can't stop the income from coming. It is inevitable. It will come.
JR has to pay you $100,000 a year as soon as you become a $100,000 a year earner.
Exactly. Ooh, that's really deep.
And that sounds like, well, duh. But here's the deal: you don't become a six-figure earner because he's paying you $100,000 a year. He pays you $100,000 a year because you became a six-figure earner. Soak on that for a minute.
Exactly. The next one is read your goal statement 2 times per day. So very, very important. David and I have always been very much goal-oriented people, focusing on, okay, what do we want in our life? Writing that down, having pictures around, focusing on that. I think probably a lot of you guys were at World Conference and you saw Stacy Tung. I got to spend some time with her afterwards, and she was talking about.
Go back and watch her video on the Market America YouTube channel if you've not. It's the best thing I probably ever seen on YouTube or any video.
Absolutely amazing. So she was talking about that when she gets somebody started as an unfranchised owner, she spends about 2.5 hours with that person, honing in, dialing in on what they want out of their unfranchise and helping them to create that goal statement. This is a critical part of building your business, because nothing else will happen if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing.
What are their reasons? When you're working with somebody, do you know their reason for doing it? Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to have a six-pack. Everybody wants to be healthy, but everybody isn't. How come? They probably haven't identified their reason for doing it. And so just, you can copy, this is from the basic 5, but, basically just take a 3x5 card out. I don't really want to spend a lot of time with somebody if they don't have a 3x5 card that says what they want, why they want it, because that why is a big deal. So hone in on that. So what they want, why they want it, and what they're willing to do or give up to achieve it. And then, then if it's a matter of if they're going to attend an event or something, it's not me wanting them to be there for my goals. Then I can lean on them and say, hey, in order to accomplish what you're wanting, you probably should be there. You probably should be reading. You probably should be doing some of these things, or change your goal, change the date, but it becomes their goal, their business, their reason. And if you don't have their goal, that's just kind of selfish on your part, because there's only one other person's goal out there, and that's yours. So it's their goal or yours. So I would focus on getting theirs.
And then reading it twice a day, having on the mirror in your bathroom as you're brushing your teeth in the morning, reading your goal statement. As you're going to bed at night, brushing your teeth again, reading your goal statement. David and I, we have it in our pocket, we have it in our purse, we have it like have extra time in line, we're reading it. Got extra time at a stoplight, we're reading it.
Grab us at an event sometime, say, where's your goal statement? I'm like, pow, got it right here.
Got it. It's so powerful, very, very important. In fact, we feel so important about goals, that's so important to us, that we actually have a dream board, and it's got pictures of the things that we want in our life. And it's so much fun to be able to do that, to cut these things out, to put them up there, to be able to look at them. It's very inspiring, and our mind works in pictures. So this has been very beneficial for us as well.
The subconscious mind speaks in images. So think if you were like, if all you can speak is English and you were in Russia and you had to explain to somebody like, where's the bathroom or something, you could draw a picture, of something, that's how you would communicate, would be through an image. And so, your subconscious does not speak English, just so you know. And so, but it works in images that you attach to emotions. And so find images that represent something to you. If you saw our dream board, probably most of it wouldn't mean anything to you, but they're quick anchors for us that as soon as we see them, it definitely reminds us of something that would maybe take an hour to explain that one image, what all it means to us deep inside.
All right, the next one is sell one product per week to a new customer and order from one partner store on shop.com. This is so important in developing a good customer base. So if you look at a year, let's say that we're doing these daily, weekly, monthly things for over a year, you have 52 weeks in a year. Think about that. If you sell a product to a new customer, you're going to have 52 customers over a 1-year period of time. And what our goal is then is to develop 10 to 15 good customers that are ordering 30 business volume worth of product on a monthly basis, as well as ordering off of our shop.com, where they're getting 20 internet business volume per month, where they are constantly purchasing products, from business volume products to internet business volume products, and taking their shopping habits and transferring that over. such an important thing. But that's what the plan is based on. The base 10, 7 strong, having 10 good customers that are ordering from you on a monthly basis.
We're not getting into the whole base 10, 7 strong on this training, so grab other ones where that is covered. But again, we're talking 10 hours a week with the base 10, 7 strong. I know that I got to know what each rectangle means within my matrix, within my business. When a new person gets started, maybe the first week it's not going to happen. But in my mind, that square is going to be worth 400 business volume a month, and it's going to be worth 10 hours a week. The things we're covering right now are what happens inside the 10 hours a week, but these activities will lead towards that rectangle being worth 400 business volume or more per month. And so, you got to have that kind of a math. 400 business volume a month, you have 50 owners on your left and 50 owners on your right. That's going to pay you a 6-figure income. So it's kind of good to know the math and know what you're doing to make this happen. Today, we have the internet to leverage the management of those customers. So even when we were living in a children's home in Mexico, our requirements for retail were being met on an ongoing basis because the internet doesn't call in sick, take a day off, or complain. And so it was
the best employee ever.
Market America has all these tools that make us look so much better than we are. Because that technology is always being massaged and worked and getting better. You don't have to be an internet expert. You don't have to be a sales expert. You just have to make these things available and then let those systems, processes, and tools do the heavy lifting for you. You just have to open your mouth and initiate the conversation.
Exactly. And so as you can see in this picture here, really spending time with your customers and showing them how to use your shop.com, talking to them about shopping annuity, talking to them about how to save money, but also get paid cash back. What a beautiful thing.
If you sit down and spend an hour with somebody, they're the lifetime buying power. They're going to be buying from you on an ongoing basis in the future. That's a pretty good hour spent of time. It's worth taking a minute and sitting down there with them. Not just telling them about it and hoping they do it. Take a second and sit down with somebody and really be a great customer manager, especially on the front end, because it pays really well on the back end.
And then you yourself also shopping from yourself, finding the way that you can do that so that the dollars that you're spending are going through your shop.com, that truly you're taking it and it going from what used to be going to a store to now doing it online and doing it from yourself.
Everybody on this call, throw your hat into the middle of the ring on the shopping annuity bonus pool. Begin that process. Get it on your phone. You look at your little graphs filling out throughout the quarter. Go after that. With a vengeance. Attack it like it's a solution, because it really, really is. You set that in motion with your organization where it becomes a culture where every dollar that's spent in your home, you're almost fanatical. Make it more of a game, because then it's fun. It makes it look kind of less religious. It's like just a fun game that every dollar that's going to leave my house is going to capture me something towards my shopping annuity. So, capture it there. Fill out the little quizzes. Do your test. Make sure everything says yes, yes, yes when you pull up that app on your phone.
Exactly. The next one is show the plan to one personal prospect per week. This is somebody that if they became an UnFranchise owner, that you would be the sponsor. Yes. Very important. This is not for people within your organization. That's all great. That's wonderful.
That's a different step.
That's a different step. This is to one personal prospect per week. And so you think about that. That's at the end of the year. You've shown 52 people the business plan. So think about the business partners that you're going to have at the end of a year. And it doesn't matter how you're showing it. You could be showing it with the video. We've got the 23-minute video. We've got the 9-minute video. We have flip chart. We have power profiles. We have the annual report. You name it, we've got it. And then you can use it. Exactly.
We have so many good tools. Market America's, I don't know what you call them, like the media department, the people that make the videos, and those products are top notch. These guys are award winners. They've won awards within their industry for being as good as it gets. So they're creating incredible products for us already. They're going to continue doing that, but you got to use them. You create the conversation with somebody, and then you let that tool do the work. Let it do the explaining, let it cast the vision, and then you come back in afterwards and continue that process. But you got to initiate that original conversation. Don't come in there with photocopies of something and look and cheat. Come in there as a pro.
Yes, be a professional. Be something like when you walk in that people are like, oh my gosh, I want to be on that person's team. And that in every situation, it's always a win-win. In every appointment that you have, that person is better off because they met with you, whether they decide to buy your product or become an UnFranchise owner or not, that they are better because they met you.
We got some trainings we're going to post here on the Meet On platform about how to win every appointment. If it's a 20-minute training series, but how to win every appointment. The first one really does start with that preparation in advance, but most appointments are won or lost before you sit at the table. So you might want to check out those meet-ons as well.
Exactly. The next one is follow up one time per week. So if you're showing the business plan or if you are selling a product, you have to follow up. And I think
Yes.
that's probably the thing that people are the most scared of. They're afraid, and I've been guilty of it, afraid to call somebody because they might say no. But the whole situation is if you don't call them, they already said no.
Well, Elizabeth Weber always says every person that you don't approach is a no. Every person
Exactly.
you don't follow up with is a no.
So you might as well follow up. At least you got a 50-50
At least
chance.
there's a chance.
Exactly. Exactly. So what are different ways of following up?
My favorite one is a three-way phone call because okay, I meet with someone. I wish you were here. You could see my hands waving all over like a crazy person. But you meet with somebody. You're not selling them on getting started with Market America. I'm using quotation fingers here, but you're selling them on the idea of engaging in a process of education. Okay, so they meet with you. They're going to try a product. They're going to now watch a video that you send, a 9-minute, 23. You're going to do, one of those kind of tools. You're going to send them a power profile. Again, this one of Stacy Tongue, I'm telling you what, she will give you a brain spanking that you will not soon forget and plant that seed about the building process. All of those power profiles on there are so helpful because they tell a story. Okay, so if you have a gym owner, you want to send them the power profile of Gary Rogers, that's going to be sharing his experience. And so you're using those tools, but then somewhere in that mix, I want to bring on a third party expert, and a phone call is the best way to do it. And they might all live in my neighborhood, but the phone opens up the world. And so they might be on a different coast than me, but I can have that person share their experience. They give me credibility, and they kind of sometimes can come in and ask questions that I might be too close to ask, and then move that relationship further in a short period of time.
And then using the tools. Market America has amazing tools. They have unbelievable brochures. They have unbelievable
Oh,
YouTube
our
clips.
catalog is incredible. It's beautiful. If you just had our catalog laying around, it's good enough. People want to just pick it up and look at it.
Absolutely. So something I want you to remember. Put this in your mind. If you are not using the tools, you are a tool. And so it's really important. You have to think of everything that you do. You have to think it could be scaled up infinitely. That if you send a video, that could be scaled up infinitely. You cannot be scaled up infinitely. And so be thinking everything that you're doing in follow up, how can it be scaled up? How can it be used so that I don't have to work, but something else is working for me?
So like this image shows here, even your interactions need to be, in groups. So if I meet with somebody one-on-one, if I can have the next appointment that might be with another person evaluating it and maybe an expert or, a partner, but I'm going to do it in combinations. Like this guy here is getting a follow-up, I think, with Bob Barker. He's not on the Price is Right anymore. Now he's building an unfranchise.
There you go.
Disclaimer.
At least he looks like
Yeah,
it.
I don't think that really is Bob Barker, so I don't want to get in trouble. Bob Barker's still Market America. But maybe he is. You should call him. All right, so anyway, as I follow up at that appointment, I want to be in a group. Okay, I want to outweigh any negativity that somebody has that they might have, and have stories that relate with that person. And so if it's a single mom in the follow up process, after a UBP, we might pull to the side and sit down and have someone else who's a single mom in the business share their experience, how they fit this into their life, how well are they executing these basic daily methods of operation.
Or send them a profile of somebody that was a single
Bam.
mom, or another teacher, trying to really use those profiles as much as we can because there's so many of them and they're amazing. So really watching those. If you don't know the profiles, I highly encourage you to go through and watch the profiles. Spend some time.
Yeah.
Maybe do 2 or 3 a day, but you're just learning those stories. They're going to be very valuable for you to be able to use those to share with everyone else.
Make that part of your 10 hours a week early on. You're listening to an audio every morning. Make some of those be those profiles on YouTube. Just put your iPad in the bathroom when you're taking your shower and be listening to those things as you're getting ready each day. All right, next thing.
Exactly. Attend 1 to 2 meetings per week. This is where your leverage comes in.
Don't play small. Don't just hear say 1 here either. 1 to 2.
Yes.
1 to 2.
1 to 2, because this is where you're going to get time outside of your time. So let's look at this right here. This is be a small coring, and so that somebody's having. But you look at the individuals that are here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 individuals in this small coring right here. Let's say that the coring lasted 1 hour. that individual that's speaking there, if they're within his organization, he's getting 6 hours of production done and he's only working 1 hour versus going out and meeting with each individual person and having to work 6 hours to get the 6 hours.
People that say they don't have time to attend the event, they don't understand what it takes to create wealth. Massive leverage leads to massive wealth. And so, if you're working towards having 100 people at a seminar, and it say it lasts 4 hours or, whatever, that's 400 hours of work you accomplished in one pop. There's no way that you could go and explain everything that took place in those 4 hours to each one of those people individually. And so that creates you lots of leverage. The events are what create massive wealth because there's no way I could ever compete. Say, I'm so busy, I couldn't make it. Here's the deal. If it has to become inconceivable to your organization that you're going to be at the event for them to follow suit and be at the event. If in your person's mind that you're working with, it's a 50-50 that you're going to be there, if nothing else came up, you'll be there. I guarantee it's going to be the same thing for them. And so you need to have it be inconceivable that that's not scheduled into your time. It's only a few days a year that you have an event to be at. It's got to be inconceivable that you're not there. I sound like Princess Bride now.
You do.
Inconceivable. But it's got to be inconceivable for you. Don't even look at me like she's giving me the inconceivable look. But it has to be inconceivable for you to not be there, for your group to follow suit, for them to want to be on board, and for them to do the exact same thing.
Sometimes you need a meeting, and sometimes the meeting needs you.
Jackie Blasco, man, she always says that. It's so true.
Yes, it's so important.
Don't cheap out on the night that you don't feel like it. Well, I don't have a person coming with me, so it's all about you now. Okay. Sometimes maybe it needs to be about somebody else. Maybe your story is what that meeting is going to be tonight when it's over, and you need to be there to share your story with somebody else's new person because their guest is there and they need you.
So the next time you're at a meeting, don't be thinking, oh, I'm going to go to the meeting. Be thinking, how many people can I have with me? Of course you're going to go.
Duh.
The question is, how many people am I going to have with me? And always be thinking, how many hours am I getting done within my hour? Such an important thing.
Why that lady's so fired up in that last picture? Because she has guests there. Look at her. If you want to be her, work towards the event. And then if your person cancels and you're like, well, I'm not going to go because my guy's not going. Well, then being there without a guest, maybe that's your punishment. And you're like, well, I'm going to be there. I'm going to smile. I'm going to choose to add something to this meeting. And at the next one, by golly, I'm going to have somebody there with me.
Exactly. And the last one is positive out loud verbal projections.
And this is a big dealio.
Such an important thing. So it's declaring where you are going. It is declaring your destiny. It is speaking life over your business, over your family, over your life, over your finances, over every aspect.
Over every area. I mean, you're speaking life over your marriage, over your skill sets, over every single part of everything you do each day. And this is what I encourage you to have start before your little footsies even hit the carpet first thing in the morning. You're laying there in bed and your mind starts racing to the things you got to do and getting the kids' lunches and something that might go wrong, but it hasn't, but it might, and all that stuff. Just stop it. Turn the mind off a minute, turn your mouth on, and start declaring what you do want to have happen this day. This day, just simply say 5 times, this is going to be a great day.
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 This is going to be a great day, baby. And you might just lay there, and it might be cold, and you're like, oh, I'm snowed in, or it's hot out, or whatever. It'd be like, just lay there and be like, this is going to be a great day. Because here's the deal. The words that you speak are a preview of the life you're headed into. And so what kind of a life do you want to be headed into? Your words are reflections of the thoughts that you're thinking. And so it begins your thoughts, your words,
yes.
And then your actions follow that. And so if you spend all of the time trying to create the action first, it's just really hard. You start with your thought, becomes the word, becomes the actions, and then your feelings catch up. And then,
exactly.
Man, I'm starting to feel it. This might be a good day. I'm kind of feeling a little heat on that. This is good. I'm feeling some momentum on the inside. Now, you've had a good day. You've already beat your best, and you've already won, and you haven't even walked out the door yet. Okay, take that as opposed to what most people do, and is that they get up and they may or may not have a good day. If they turn on the news and they're bouncing off of all of that stuff, and they get a voicemail from some negative person, and they get to work and they begin to ricochet off of what everybody else is selling, versus you owning your life. This is your life. You're the one that's controlling the set of the sale, by the words that come out of your mouth before you leave the house. This is so important. I don't think you can outwork it. You cannot show enough plans hardly to overcome who you are.
So some examples would be every day in every way, I'm getting better and better.
Awesome.
Could be, I'm on my way to a six-figure income.
Man, first time I heard JR say that, be like, I'm on my way to a six-figure income. Yeah. I'm like, man, that's right, JR. Me too, baby. And so I started saying that before I was on my way to a 6-cent income, but I was just saying, I'm on my way to a six-figure income. I'm on my way to a six-figure income. And the more that began to flow out of my mouth, the more in my gut, I kind of started to believe it. And I started to share this business with that kind of passion because it became so real where I was headed.
Exactly. So important. So important. So don't forget your positive out loud verbal projections.
So here's what it kind of looks like at the end of a week. If you've been writing down these notes, it looks like you're going to, get up in the morning. You're going to be speaking life before your feet hit the carpet. First thing you go into your bathroom before you turn on the shower, start playing an audio. Get your iPad or your iPhone or some device and start listening to something. Read 20 to 30 minutes a day. Does that mean, well, when do I have time to read? You know what? If it meant buying the rest of your life back and being financially free in the next 2 to 3 years, do you think you could get up 20 minutes earlier? Go to bed 20 minutes earlier? Set your alarm 20 minutes earlier? Make that happen? I bet you could. 20 to 30 minutes. Read your goal statement 2 to 3 times a day. It says 2 times, man, but keep it with you. Every time you go to the bathroom, read your goal statement, just kind of as a reminder. Sell one product, find one new customer per week, purchase one thing off of shot.com. You've shared the business with one personal prospect per week. You just make that happen. And if it's like Friday, Saturday night, and you haven't got one lined out, then go take a homeless guy to the Waffle House, buy him dinner, show him this business, and just make it practice, okay? But get it in front of somebody. Follow up one time per week, and that might be combining some of these activities into one, which is great use of time as well. Attend 1 to 2 meetings a week. Again, you can overlap these activities and really get a lot done in a short period of time, and you're probably in between appointments and on your way to bed, continuing to speak life. And I can tell you right now, if the people around you are not starting to make comments of why are you changing? Why are you speaking so positive all the time? And what's gotten into you? If you're not starting to get those kind of responses from the people you work with and the people in your world, I'll just tell you, you're not really on your way yet. And if you start buying into this daily method of operation, things begin to change on the inside of you and different stuff starts coming out your mouth. You stub your toe and you'd be like, man, I feel bad for that desk. I bet that hurt the table because the words coming out and the people around you might look at you like, what happened to you? I'll tell you, you know what happened to me? I've got a dream and I'm going somewhere. You want to join me or not? It begins to look different.
Exactly. These are all simple tasks that can be repeated by a large group of people. Anything else on top of that is extra credit, but this is the daily mode of operation. These are the things needed for you to do in order to be successful in running an unfranchise. Remember, this can be duplicated over and over and over again, and this is what will create residual ongoing walkaway income.
So it's like JR ended this last event with, there are literally hundreds of things that you could do throughout the course of a week as you build your unfranchise. And I encourage you to pick a focus, pick an area that you're going to spend time in, but do additional activities in addition to the ones that we just listed. Okay? Don't drop the ball on these because you picked up some new category. Okay? If you add additional things, it's on top of these core basic fundamentals. It's like brushing your teeth or something. Are there other things you might do in the morning to get ready? Yeah, but it should be in addition to brushing your teeth. Brushing your teeth isn't one that you should ever forget, drop the ball on, or just stop doing. Please. And so are these 8 basic things. These are your daily method of operation, and everything else that you do, in my opinion, is on top of these activities.
Exactly. So we just encourage you to go out there, make it happen, do your daily mode of operation, get your organization to do the same thing. And don't forget to speak life over your business, over your future, over your relationships. Truly, the words that you speak create the world around you.
If you guys truly understood the residual income and the lifestyle that was ahead of you, you would waste no time in getting there. You would do it as quickly as possible, and you'd walk through a brick wall to get it. I guarantee you.
Make it a great day.